She's New Zealand's youngest prime minister and also the second world leader, only the second, to give birth while in office. I love that picture of her at the UN General Assembly holding her baby. Now, New Zealand has done exceptionally well with regards to COVID. They had totally stamped it out. I think it was in July. Then there was a little bit of a resurgence in August, and now it's been stamped out for a second time in October. What I want to pay attention to as somebody who studies women's leadership is, why is she so popular? Now, let's watch this video first, and then let's talk about why she's so popular with the people of New Zealand, or the Kiwis, as you call them.
Evening, everyone. That I would jump online quickly and just check in with everyone, really, as we all prepare to hunker down for a few weeks. Excuse the casual attire. Can be a messy business putting toddlers to bed, so I'm not in my work clothes, so forgive me for that. I do just want to prepare everyone that because of the lag with COVID-19, the time from someone having contact with someone who has it, catching it themselves, them being symptomatic and being tested and positive, there's a number of days before all of that happens. So we won't see the positive benefits of all of the effort you're about to put in for self-isolation for a few days yet, quite a number of days. I'd say at least 10 days. So don't be disheartened. Our numbers are going to go up. And the modelling I've seen suggests that they will go up quite considerably. We'll see quite a steep rise. In fact, I'm expecting we may see several thousand cases over a period of time, until we then will start to, we hope, see the effects of what we're doing with self-isolation having a positive impact. So don't be disheartened when you see that. Don't be disheartened when you see that ongoing increase because of that lag. All of the efforts that we're putting in should eventually show, if we all follow the rules. Till then, do check in on your neighbours. Do especially check on those who may be elderly. Give them a call, see what their needs are. And if you can help them, go out and grab their essentials and pop them on the front door for them. Just remembering the way we can keep them safe is by keeping our distance. Remember, stay at home, break the chain, and you'll save lives. And it's as simple as that. That's everyone's job for the next 4 months.
So let's talk about what we just saw. So first of all, she appears in a kind of ratty olive green sweatshirt. Clearly, like, almost looks like she's in bed holding her iPhone in her hand. And, she first apologizes for her, her sweats, and says, sorry, this is what it's like when you put a toddler to bed. My New Zealand accent is just not great. But um giving that sense of, to women, of like, oh my gosh, like, she also knows what it's like to be crazy, like putting a toddler to bed, like trying to do a million things. And just like the relatability of that, so many politicians are so A, scripted, and B, so incredibly polished. Like, every time they appear on camera, they have to be, lipsticked and a perfect suit and perfect hair. And if they're not, they're criticized. And so her ability to just kind of break that mold of, especially women, having to like look perfect and be quote unquote perfect on camera, I think is really incredibly liberating for women who are like, oh, if the Prime Minister of New Zealand can hop on in sweats and, give this chat, like, maybe I can hop on in sweats. So the other thing that I think struck me, and I don't know if it struck you, is that she's just so nice. She's so nice. She's so apologetic. She's so empathetic, of like, I understand what you're going through. This isn't easy for anyone. Let's work together to break the chain. This concept of actually coming together, like, hop on your neighbor's doorstep, like, help them with their groceries. She encourages people to help one another. And I think the style of leadership is the style of leadership that we really need going forward in the world, of empathy, transparency, compassion, relatability. She also saw was like that with regards to the Christchurch shootings. So going back to that slideshow, she put on a hijab to show empathy with the Muslim population that was largely targeted in the Christchurch shootings. And she was really lauded for her empathy with that population. And she also passed gun laws, like instantly. It was like, okay, we're done here. No more guns. Then again, she didn't have a Congress to deal with like we do, of a million people and a lobbying group of the NRA trying to block it. But still was like, okay, we're done with guns. So as somebody who's teaching a women's leadership course, which by the way starts in about a week, so if you're interested in it, I will post the link to it in the chat. It's Empower Global, the Women's Leadership Challenge. As somebody who's teaching this, we're actually going to do a case study on Jacinda. And I really feel like she exemplifies this new type of leader that we really need in this era of a global pandemic where people are in pain. They are grieving. They are lonely. They are isolated. They are overburdened, like especially moms right now. And I think that this type of leader, which is not about command and control, but essentially at its heart, she is about taking care of people. And you can hear that in her words and helping and encouraging people to take care of one another. I think that's a big part of the reason why so many of these COVID countries led by women did so well. I mean, there's also the aspect of transparency of her and Merkel, and I think it was the Prime Minister of Finland, all being incredibly transparent. I mean, she just hopped on Facebook Live. That wasn't a press conference. That was her, in her bedroom at 9 p.m. on Facebook Live after putting her kid to bed. So there was also the transparency very early on with the population of what was happening with regards to COVID, what needed to happen in order to stop its spread, and putting in controls very, very, very quickly versus waiting on it. And, in America, we love to say, our hopes and prayers are with you, like praying that like this was magically going to go away. So there was also that element of transparency. And I think to be transparent when there's a huge, huge, huge crisis that's about to strike a country and like kill a lot of people is humility. And you can just tell that she has this humility in spades. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the next generation of female leaders, especially that I think will start to model themselves less after the Hillary Clintons of always kind of polished and put together and scripted, and more towards the Jacinda of the Facebook Lives and the ratty sweatshirts and the I'm with you and here's my baby at the UN General Assembly and I'm not embarrassed about it. I really hope that we start to see that more, and I hope we start to see male leaders also realize that this is a moment where the command and control hierarchical style of leadership just doesn't work. It's not effective. People need to feel like you care about them. And so I hope that our male leaders will also start to embody these qualities as well, recognizing that that's what will set them apart and that's what's going to help get rid of this virus once and for all.